All right, well.
Why would you talk shit about me? You're live.
Hey, we live. I think, yeah, man. Sit down. All right, y'all. So look, right. We are bringing like this post game spaces shit to a camera and microphones. Typically, what I would do at home, you can kind of see me do here, except I got some other beautiful people with me. This my man Kevin, one of my biggest influences. This is my dog, okay, my dog, okay.
Right.
Kevin B for Bounce, and then we got Lito the God.
It's me.
That's the introduction.
It's true. That's it.
Do it again.
I don't need an introduction.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, man, we go. Typically, we do this on Twitter, and I bring people up, but we'll use this route to kind of do it as well. I think Shamit's gonna pop up as well, and we gonna talk a little Pelicans, man. So, starters, Pelicans did not have a fun performance tonight. I was at the game. It was very interesting seeing some of this shit in like live in action. You got a chance to really see. Yeah. I give Chaz a lot of shit in the spaces about like athleticism and some of the shit he was talking about. I got a chance to really see it, and he was
right. He was right
about some of the people. I ain't gonna, man. Gary Clark. It was what it was, man. Garrett Temple was hard to watch in certain areas. Who is this? This is Everett. You don't have a suit on today, Everett.
Well, he off work too.
Oh, you drinking?
I need it.
Hey, man, look. So I was at the game live, but I was doing a lot of moving around. So so some of the things I didn't get a chance to really see, and we're gonna kind of move forward throughout this. But I mean, like, look, you in a game going against Tatum, Jaylen Brown, even at home, without BI, without Zion, without JV. It's not a game you're expected to win necessarily.
Right.
They have moments in the game in which they fought and they looked like they may be able to fight, but they ended up coming up short, of course. What do you take from games like this, Everett?
It's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's a tough watch, but the thing I will say is that, man, we're going to be dangerous when we're full strength. The experience that these young guys are getting that they may not have gotten if we were full strength throughout the year.
Of course, Everett. Of course. If you were at work, this would not have happened. Now you're froze, and it's looking weird now, man. Yeah.
There
we go. You back.
Good?
What's happening?
What happened to y'all?
I
was like, yeah, we definitely got that Bally Sports. But no, for real, like the experience that we're gathering from these young guys playing, I feel like it's going to help us in the long run. It's tough watching those GT minutes. I'm not going to lie. And it is, I take it that we can really compete when we're full strength. It's going to be ridiculous on how good this team is. But, God, we shooting terrible from three. What are we like? Shooting about 12% from three the last 3 damn games?
It's pretty bad.
It's terrible.
It is.
Man, the whole time I'm looking at the game saying, damn, you know what? We could use a point guard.
We could use any guard. Point guard.
Yeah. Looking at that game for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna have to get Devontae Graham's moms to text him again, like Jose Alvarado about to take your spot.
I didn't know where that was going, but I mean, who the hell is this? Is it Eugene? Is that the Eugene?
Who is the Eugene?
I mean, I'm gonna know him when he pull up, but it ain't no face right now. We'll figure that out. Hey, what's up, bro?
Look, I'm just trying to listen in, man.
What's good?
I joined wrong.
No, you good, big dog.
Bathtub?
Are you in a bathtub? What's going on, brother?
No, I'm sitting on my couch watching.
It looks like a bathtub.
I got a blanket on. You hear me?
Oh, blanket on.
The Pelicans keep you warm, huh?
I got a dog, so I let the dog go in and out. So the little breeze is coming in from outside. So I'm just chilling with the blanket on.
Shit, it's warm down there though, so y'all straight though. It's cold as hell up here.
Warm.
40 degrees in Louisiana.
I live in Chicago and this ain't warm.
I live in
Seattle.
Right now. It is 31 degrees outside right now.
See, look, y'all in Chicago and Seattle, y'all in the wrong places, bro. You can't get no food, and you got that weather.
Yeah, you ain't never lying about that. But we don't have hurricanes, we ain't got roaches, we don't have bugs. So
Wow.
The roaches,
Eugene, man. Come on, dog, man. Look, man. Like, I guess, like, you know, the hot topic right now on the team is just, you know, more so upgrading like the guard play, right? And I got a chance to watching him in person. You just get a different perspective on a lot of things, on just the entire team and how things operate, right? Like Jose Alvarado looked really, 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 really good. And that's no disrespect to Jose, you know, but it just shows like how they're like, this is a guy who's undrafted, undersized, like he's playing above his means right now, and it's great. And you know, but it shouldn't be a situation where, from a point guard perspective, you know, the ability to penetrate, the, you know, dig, the, you know, the chance to observe, to run pick and rolls, to get other guys involved, to move the basketball, it shouldn't fall on him. And it looked like in sometimes tonight's game, he looked like it, you know, it fell on him.
It did.
Oh, well in here. Yeah, but I mean, Eugene, like from your perspective, do you like how important is it for this team to upgrade the guard position, and in which direction would you go?
It's super important. It has to be upgraded regardless if Zion is in or not. Because we've entered a section where we know this team is going to play hard for Coach Willie. Yeah. Like we know the defense is much improved. In the game, BI is going to do what BI does. Whenever Zion comes back, he's going to be unstoppable regardless. The same issue we had last year, we're having at an even worse pace this year. And so the thing is, I often think, who can we go get? Because number one, I do want to keep Alvarado. Alvarado, I feel like he has what we need. He got that it factor where it pertains to this. He's not scared of paying the tech, but I want my players to be willing to go after somebody who technically could win the MVP. And so I saw the other day.
Valley Sports have
that man. Sports got him
again. Rail, what's happening though?
What's up, y'all?
Rail, where you at in the streets?
At home, man. I just got home like a few minutes ago.
At home?
I'm in Metro, bro. I'm in Metro. Look, I had tweeted. I said, "Where the party at?" Nobody said nothing.
We don't know, but look. I'm telling you, when we get out of here, Lito was telling me what because he be knowing. I don't be knowing, but he telling me that somewhere we gonna go somewhere after. He says down the block or some shit.
Y'all stepping out with Boogie tonight?
Come on. We definitely stepping out with Boogie tonight.
Come on,
definitely stepping out. Well, look what we have here.
Huh? Who is?
A celebrity. A celebrity. We're gonna make room for such. We're gonna make room for such. Come on.
He's
my man. What's up Boogie? The street anyway? Up the street from where y'all leaving at?
Man, Lito. I'm trying to tell y'all, Lito the plug. He the god. Come on,
bro. I'm gonna hit you.
Come on, dog.
All right, man. Yeah.
Yo, that is a celebrity in the building. I see.
Come on, man. Chill. Don't do this, man.
Shit, I just got a follow from him today.
I be trying to. Everett, don't take that to heart, man. He don't know you, man. Don't think that means he like you. None of that, man. He just a part of. What's happening, dog?
He got you on mute. Right?
Can I get it? Wait, let me get this straight. Shamit. Oh, I'm at my house, but Shamit's at the studios right now, and I'm at my house of all the times. Wow.
Yes.
He's in the player.
You're in a basement. What is that? Why is it so dark there?
Because my 10-month-old's sleeping right now. Okay, so I'm trying
to blame it on the child. Don't blame it on the covers. And he's gone. You see, but that's not sketchy at all.
He's in the bushes.
What's happening, man?
What's up?
What's good, bro?
How you doing,
man? It's nice to see you here, man. Nice to see you.
It's been a minute.
Listen, man. You have been arguing. I won't say arguing. You have been carrying the bandwagon of upgrade the guard position in a certain for a certain player or two. You even put up a poll. First of all, to that poll, okay, for those who don't know, okay, Shamit put up a poll that said, like, right now, like, gut check, where y'all at? De'Aaron Fox, CJ, 60% of y'all voted De'Aaron, right?
Yep.
What does that say to you?
Man, I think it says that people want a young player. I think people want point guard play first and foremost, and I think they want the younger guy. I think people are a little bit scared of CJ McCollum's money, even though he's a really good fit on the court. But I think everyone's like, hey, De'Aaron's 23, 24 years old. You're going to have him for the prime of his career rather than a guy that's approaching his twilight or is in his twilight already. So I think people want that. And maybe some of the hometown kid factors playing in too.
Kevin, when you see a poll like that to where like the fan base says it's 60-40, De'Aaron, CJ, what does that say to you? Knowing the fan base the way that you do, what does that say to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody sees that point guard as the biggest need on this team, so I understand it. I think one of the problems that we have as a fan base, and I tweeted about this today, is that we think that Fred Vincent can fix everybody. I mean, if you watch these last couple of games, I mean, Fred Vincent's on the sideline. You know, Nikhil's been here working with him for 3 years, and I love Nikhil, but he can't hit anything. But, you know, so it's not a knock on Fred Vincent. It's just the reality of the situation. Like, there's skills you can work at, but you can never attain, you know? And so we need to get shooters. And I worry about Fox as a shooter just because he's actually regressed every year the last couple of years. Not that I would be upset if we got De'Aaron Fox, because obviously he's an upgrade over what we have. I prefer CJ. I think he has a lot more playmaking potential that we haven't really seen yet, because you see it in stretches when he's on the court. He can space the floor for you. He can score from every level. I know the kind of person that CJ is, and it's a kind of person that I really like. I think he's a very smart guy on and off the court. I think he's very interesting. So he's just the kind of guy that I like. De'Aaron Fox, I have some questions about his mentality and his leadership skills. You look at what's been going on in Sacramento for years. There's bad habits, bad culture. And I just worry that you have a bunch of guys, you know, like your key players that are on the court right now, Ingram, Valanciunas, Herb, Hart, Graham, they're all bought into Willie Green as a coach and what he's doing here. And you can see the culture developing. You know, obviously Jose, throw him in there in the mix too, because he's proven to be a very important player right now. So if you bring in a guy who maybe doesn't buy in, especially a guy that's making that kind of money, that has this pedigree, that thinks he should have a kind of a starring role in this unit, it could disrupt things. And I see CJ as more of a guy that's going to fit in and work with everybody there. Sure. Not to say that Fox won't. I just have more concern about him in that situation than I do with CJ. And I do think we need more adults in the room. So,
Lito,
I totally agree. Like we said yesterday in the Propels spaces, that, you know, if it all goes downhill with CJ, at least he's a shooter. You know, at least he can space the floor. Like Shaman says all the time, like that the money that everybody's worrying about, like let's not worry about that. Let's actually acquire talent. At the end of the day, I don't care who they get. Honestly, I just want a player. I would prefer CJ, but shit, man, give me something.
Shaman, who do you prefer?
I lean Fox by a hair, just because. Oh, gotta bring the mic closer. Hey, look at this. Yeah, no, I prefer Fox by a hair, and I do so because it's unfortunate, but I am looking for potential possibilities of a future where Zion Williamson's.
Want to play? Yeah. Okay, see you.
And so, yeah, if that's the case, if, you know, there's a situation a year or two from now where Zion's like, I'm done with New Orleans, or he's just not healthy, right? He's just not able to stay on the court. You have a foundation with De'Aaron Fox and Brandon Ingram that you can use for multiple years, right? In with CJ, if he starts trailing off due to his age, that becomes a little bit difficult to build around. And I trust, I trust that Fox will continue to get better. I'm not saying that he's ever going to be a consistent shooter. That's probably not in the cards, but I think he can be better. I think that his skill set of going downhill and being able to create for others and being able to make Brandon's life easier, especially at the end of games, is going to be needed. So that's why I lean Fox, but it's very close. And again, if the Pelicans pull off CJ, you're going to see me celebrating. You're going to see me screaming up and down on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Rail, I don't think I've heard your opinion on this thing. I mean, we don't know if they get either or these guys, but I mean that's been the topic amongst Pel's Twitter right now. And I mean, look, bro, like I love Jose Alvarado, and we're gonna talk about him. He balled out tonight, and watching him in person was great because it just shows like these guys like believe in his ability to make things happen, and even when things break down, like they're starting to look to him to make things happen. They trust him to make plays, and that's saying a lot, knowing like where he came from. But at the end of the day, like Jose Alvarado is undrafted, right? I mean, he comes from, he just, we're just starting to get an idea of what he could or may not be. You need an upgrade of someone who you are sure about at that position, whether, BI's out there, whether, we know what's up with Zion. They need to upgrade one way or another. But Real, what's your idea on the guard position going forward? And I mean, is there a preference in your mind, or you just like, fuck it, bring in whoever?
Is there a preference between CJ and De'Aaron, or you mean just in general?
Or maybe it's somebody else. I mean, I don't know. Just what do you think?
I don't really have anybody else in mind, but I think between CJ and De'Aaron, I'm leaning towards CJ just because he can get his own basket. He can create for himself, and also he's a vet. And if we're gonna have a vet presence, I'd rather it be him than Garrett Temple.
God, that was let me tell y'all. I was on the floor. Garrett Temple was hard to watch tonight, and and listen, I don't even know what he wore to the game. Okay, I ain't getting a chance to even talk about.
I don't know either.
Okay, I don't even know what he wore to the game. That was tough and certain, and it's not even his fault. Like sometimes he was being put in situations to where the ball was moving around or it wasn't moving at all. He was like, it's 8 seconds left on the clock. I got to make something happen, but unfortunately, he couldn't make shit happen, and it ended up in bad possessions. On top of bad floaters, bad, just him not being able to shoot the ball well, tonight. Ugh, man, that was tough. They can't be in situations where they have to rely on him. And I mean, to be fair, again, the roster wasn't built to have to rely on Garrett Temple, right? So, yeah,
that wasn't part of the plan at all.
But hey, Chris,
what up?
Don't Jose remind you of JJ Barrera? Like,
why?
Because it's just his energy. He understands
why.
Hey, you know how I like to compare.
Reminds me of Kenny Powell.
But on a serious note, he remind me because I was thinking about. I was like, who does Jose remind me of? Like somebody that's annoying as hell, but you happy he on your team. But if he was on the other team, he'll be. You would hate him to death. And that's the person I came up with.
I can see that. I mean, they both came from situations where they had to fight for their spot in the league. I mean, I think Jose coming up is more, was known as more of a defender than say JJ was, and JJ was more known for his ability offensively than say Jose was. But I could see, where you had, small guards or whatever. I mean, but just again, like they shouldn't be in spots to where they're depending on him to make plays to keep them in games. Kevin, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say something about Jose. I can't go really into specifics because of my job. But with my job, I'm around some of these players sometimes. And before Jose played a regular season minute, I saw a certain star player coming to visit him and hang out with him. And that just showed me that, like, there's something about this guy that is special because, he was a guy undrafted, like we said, wasn't getting any minutes. Nobody really knew what to expect from him. He was a two-way player. And then the star player is like hanging out with him, spending time on his off days. So I think that says a lot about Jose and the weight that he has in that locker room.
Is that 5? I feel like that is 5. What's happening?
That is 5.
That's 5.
What's good, bro? Are you family with Chaz?
Huh?
Are you related to Chaz?
Man, bro, this is the second person you done mentioned that I'm related to.
I gotta ask. Y'all look related.
Man,
you look like bro. Listen, Chaz look like the evil version of you.
If it came to push came to
Lito, tell me I'm wrong.
Nah, but they
man, we just light skinned, bro. Just chill with this.
I'm light skinned. I can relate. I'm just saying. What's up, brother? What's happening?
Chill a minute, man. Look, my car just got broken into. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. It's all gravy. Like, I gotta, man. I don't know. Where you across the bridge, under the bridge type stuff. Like, trying to swoop in. Yeah, this is the first time I don't pay for the parking, and they got me. But it's all good. I got an insurance claim. I'm just gonna slide this one in. I already talked to the people. I'm straight.
There you go.
So I ain't tripping on nothing. It's just the time and the legwork. But anyway, what's up with you, Chris, bro?
Do the Pelicans feel like a team that's like Carr got broken into tonight?
Let me just ask you: Were you at the game when your window got broken?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't a Garrett Temple shot?
Oh, that was a lot of bricks, all white bricks.
Wow,
mean, just mean, and he didn't even have how long you thought about that before you said that?
It just came. Do I ever think about anything before?
Five. I wanted.
Hold on.
I wanted real commentary, man. I'm sorry, man. This is.
there was a big boom over the week, like this past week. It's probably a Garrett Temple shot. Probably a Garrett Temple shot.
Talking about the one that went viral and shit. That's crazy.
I heard another one too, like 2 nights ago.
Hey, bro, he was probably practicing, bro.
Bro, okay, this is not. This is not what this was going. I mean,
our bad.
We were talking Jose Alvarado, but we were also talking once again like the guard position. I think you pulled up before and talked about it. I mean, a game like tonight, like what do you take from? I mean, you're without your three best players. You have moments in which you keep it close, and we've seen throughout the season with Willie Green, like they're not gonna quit on them. They're gonna fight, but they're just they're missing talented players, right? And it's only so much you can do against guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown when they have it going, and even Robert watching Billy Hernan Gomez against Robert Williams was torture, man. That was like prison. Like Robert Williams, who's 6'8", 6'7" on his best day. I mean, Billy had nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's it's Billy, right? He's supposed to be the third center on the team. I can't even be mad at him. Like Robert Williams was just outworking him. But what do you take from a game like tonight?
I mean, we're just watching the same thing we've been watching. If you don't have a guard that can't penetrate, that's why we're so enamored with Jose. I mean, you get the feel that somebody can break down a defense and get to the cup and make competent passes, and change the game. Like we're clawing for somebody like this. What if Jose was 6'6"? What if had measurables like Nikhil? Like he would be like we wouldn't want to get rid of him if that was the case. Like what are we referring to? Like if we had just a competent guard. And that's why I'm not really tripping on if we get CJ, if we don't, if we get Fox. Like I don't really care. I just want somebody that can break down the defense and get shots for other people. Because apparently we don't have that. We don't have somebody to do that at any point in time. Like did you see the Celtics defense tonight? They knew we couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I feel like we're the only team that knows we can't shoot. Do y'all watch the games that you play? Because the other teams have NBA players and they penetrate and kick and make a three. We penetrate and kick and then pass and then take a dumber shot than we should have taken. So I don't know, bro. That's all I have.
Okay. All right. Time out 5. Charles Chambers. Is that the Charles I'm thinking of?
I didn't think Charles looked like that.
I didn't either.
I have no idea what y'all thought I looked like.
I don't know, but not that. I don't know. It's not a bad thing, but yeah.
It's not at all. Nobody thought you looked like that, bro. I did not know this was you. What's up, man?
I thought he
was going down, y'all.
Bro, listen, like you gotta realize how you sound in the space. You gotta wear a suit in here like every time. There's no way. There's no right. Before I go to you though, like when you hear what Five said about I mean that's more of like an IQ statement, right? Where does that take you? Like is it beyond just adding a guard, or do they need, do you see a team that needs like multiple upgrades in a lot of positions, like from your perspective?
I mean, yeah, it depends on the goal, right? So if the goal is to make the play-in, just to get the 10th spot, they don't need that many upgrades. They need to, one, just stay healthy, and two, just figure out a way to add some minutes that are not Garrett Temple. And that'll get you the 10th spot, right? If the goal is to be better than that, right? To get into that play-in situation, play whoever's the 8th or 7th seed at that point and actually make the playoffs and then do well in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, I think they do need upgrades in different positions, but I keep going back to the team not having Zion and the team being built around that fact, and how there's this, like entire aligning philosophy built from the fact that he draws an insane amount of attention and everyone else is supposed to play off of that. And when you don't have that, when you don't have that cornerstone, that literal soul building block, then you have to scramble and make do. And they've done a really good job after that start that they had 1-12. Brandon stepped it up in every single area of his game. Jonas is taking that responsibility. And so, and they have nights where they struggle offensively because they just don't have the talent. And so adding more talent to the team offensively will make everyone's job easier, but they still need that one piece that makes everything else fall in place. And that's why I think someone like De'Aaron Fox can not, no one can replicate Zion, but you can replicate some of the areas he impacts, right? With De'Aaron being such a forceful player going to the rim, drawing defenders, being able to kick out, you can mimic some of that stuff with Zion. And he's not going to ever be as efficient of a scorer as Zion, but he can score the ball. And so if you have that one ball handler, and Zion was that ball handler when the Pelicans had the best offense in the league for 2 months and they're in the point Zion phase, he was the lead ball handler in that situation. So when you have that one ball handler that can really set the table for everyone else, then it makes everyone else's job easier. And it's not a matter of, hey, we need more offensive talent. They're just getting better shots and they feel more confident because they're not overextended. They're not the ones having to create those shots for others or try to make something happen. They're more used to, okay, yeah, I'm getting this ball in my shooting pocket and all I have to do is put it up. That's all I got to do.
Charles, get in here, and then I'm gonna go to Kevin because I have a interesting toxic point that I want to get him in on that I know he's going to be able to feed on. But based on what he said about Fox, because I'm one of the people to where I'm not worried about his non-existent shooting right now because I believe in, I think his strengths are so positive, and I can see right away how it helps the team. No matter if you try to sag off and have court sets or what, I believe that this team needs somebody that no matter what they do, whether it's in a, you have an elite ability of shooting, creating, penetrating, whatever the case it is, they need it, and it will help them so much that we don't have to worry about the flaws as much. But get in here, Charles, and off of what Schmidt said.
Yeah, I think Schmidt made a great point. You bring in somebody and the hierarchy kind of just fills out from there. Personally, I lean towards shooting. I put a premium on shooting, but it really doesn't matter. If you bring in a talented guard, you're taking something off the young guy's plate. And when you have anybody young, they learn by doing certain things, 1 or 2 things. Our guys are trying to do 5 and 6 things, and you can literally see them thinking through the game. And you're not supposed to be able to see that because that's not how you play. Nikhil Jackson, you can be like, damn, I'm supposed to make that rotation, or that was the read I was supposed to make. And you can see their brain processing. We bring in a guard, whether it's Fox or CJ, it takes that responsibility and they can focus on that 1 or 2 things that they do well and, grow from there. And that's really where I'm at, man. I just need somebody that can take that 34 minutes and 42 seconds away from Mr. Garrett Temple. We can redistribute that appropriately.
So I just want to say at the game, the lady I was with knows nothing about basketball and nothing about the Pelicans. Well, she knows about basketball, but she hasn't watched in a very long time. And she looked at Nikhil. She watched and she just kept saying 6. Her words, quote and unquote, was he has it, but he doesn't have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
That's perfect.
How do you know that and you haven't watched this man before tonight? What is that? That just blew my mind. She was like, he got it, but he ain't got it. Kevin, I'm leading you to be messy, and then I'm gonna go to Lito because I'm definitely about to be messy. Kevin has some interesting ideas and thoughts about Zion Williamson, and he is a part of he's not alone in those that is kind of ready to maybe venture and moving on. He's moving his finger around.
It's not necessarily I'm ready to
move okay. On. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my thing is, I feel like obviously if Zion Williamson wants to be here, that's the greatest thing of all time. Having him with this team raises your ceiling so high. He's an incredible player. But the thing is you go back to his rookie year, his injury, and he didn't like the way that injury was handled. He had a lot of distrust in the training staff, and it was known. People within the team have told people in the media, in our blog circle. I'm sure everybody on this panel has probably heard this stuff about how the next coach after Alvin Gentry was going to have to repair that relationship. Well, then in comes Stan Van Gundy. So there you go. And then now we're dealing with another situation where he has an injury and they tell us he's going to come back for opening night. And then again, the timeline is constantly moved. And here we are. He's still not close to coming back to the court. And I've just never seen a situation where a player has gone through that with a training staff where the timeline is constantly shifted, right, and where that player didn't then come back and then ask to get out of the situation because citing a lack of distrust. Now there's other things, and look, obviously there's blame on Zion's side, there's blame on David Griffin's side. I don't care about assigning blame to anybody. It's just that's a situation that has existed historically. And I hope that Zion is not the guy. I mean, is going to be the first guy who bucks that trend. But I can't think of an example where it hasn't led to that. Please, if you guys know of one or can think of one, spit one out because I really.
The example is Embiid.
Embiid. Well, but that was different because they knew when he came in, he was gonna be out for a couple of years, and that was a situation that everybody was comfortable with.
Well, they did. I don't think they knew specifically that he was going to be out for a couple of years. He came in injured. He was drafted. I think he had a good chance of going one if he hadn't been hurt in the pre-draft process, right?
But also he came in hurt, which I think changes.
He came in hurt, and I think that changes the player's own perspective,
right?
Rather than having a healthy preseason and then getting hurt. Right?
But that's the closest example we have.
Right. That's the closest.
Okay, yeah. Lito, get in here.
Sir. Same question.
No, yeah. I mean, piggybacking off of KB, right? Because I do think that's a side of things where we talk about it in the spaces like there's a a side that is irritated with the whole Zion process of it, and there's a side of that is irritated with the reaction to a Zion, and they're like, yo, he's a kid, he's going through mental health issues, he's going through this is a lot for anybody to deal with. He wants to play, he said this, he said that, but there's also a side who's been here 20 plus years, right, that has Kevin made a lot of points about. I mean, and I know, right? I mean, there is a PTSD that plays, right? Right. But I mean, just being here, what do you make of that situation based off of it? Because I think it is important because it creates a divide in the city, in the fan base, and I see it all the time. But I don't think I've gotten your perspective on it. What do you think about it?
Well, to piggyback off Kevin's point, when you ask what's the alternative, or what was the example of an alternative? I feel like we don't know enough about Zion to assume a decision he's going to make. He doesn't give interviews. He doesn't, necessarily talk to the media. We really don't know. And he is a kid, so not a kid, but what I'm saying? We just don't know Zion. I mean, personally, I would love for him to stay here and play for the organization. But I also see Kevin's side of it, man. I mean, it's where's the turning point going to happen? Yeah. Go ahead. We're running out of time.
Well, my thing is that one thing, and I listen to all the spaces, and I usually don't talk in them because I'm on a podcast and people can hear me talk if they want to, and I like to listen to the fan base. I think there's tons of great insight in those spaces and a lot of really funny people, so I just enjoy listening. But it's nice to be up here talking with you guys now. But I think one of the misconceptions out there too is that I hear, especially on the last one that I listened to, a lot of people were saying, well, there's no new information. And in a sense, that's true. There's no new public information, but there's a lot of whispers that go around to media that cover the team, and in other aspects that we get some information that we can't necessarily throw out there because it gets other people in trouble. We just can color our opinions based off of what we've heard and what we've learned, and some things that we've seen firsthand. Now, obviously, all of that stuff could be wrong. And look, Zion might not know what he wants right now to begin with.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Where everybody go?
Oh, they said hold up in the chat.
Oh, for sure. I'm just looking at Eric.
They said hold up.
I know. Why y'all looking at me?
They're missing. I don't know. I don't know who
I don't know.
controls that.
Well, while we waiting, Five, man, you good? You need to go talk to Nick Underhill because he got his shit broken in twice this week.
He did.
Man, I don't want to be nowhere near nobody else. Like, bro, it was a bunch of glass in the whole parking lot. Like, so it wasn't just me. It was more people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nothing in the car. No, my gun was at home.
But they probably just breaking and grabbing shit. You know what I mean?
It was nothing to grab, bro. Like, I had nothing in it. So,
bro, what's wrong with people in the city, bro? They be tripping.
They wild.
They for real. Damn, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that though.
Yeah, bro. That's all good.
When you coming down, man.
Bro, you have no idea. I've been wanting to come back home for a minute. My people be asking me.
There they go. There they go.
Can y'all hear us now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear and see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we good now. Sorry about that, y'all.
All right. So
go ahead.
So we were doing a podcast about blockbuster trades, and everybody had already claimed the main ones, right? And so, the Fox and the McCollum trade.
Oh, they hated you for that, Kevin. I want you to know.
Oh, I know.
They hated you.
I hated myself for it. So I just proposed. I mean, I hate myself for a lot of things. This is just one of the many. But no, so the trade I proposed was like, all right, if you know or have a strong suspicion that Zion is out and you wanted to move him this offseason, because if you look at this, this trade deadline, because I thought there was a unique situation that could really benefit the team long term if Zion was going to ask out anyway. And that situation is that you could trade Zion to Oklahoma City with Satoransky and Nikhil for Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, and the buttload of first round picks.
Ain't nobody want to hear that shit, Kevin.
4 to 6 first round picks.
Nobody wanted to hear Lou Dort and Josh Giddey, bro. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm of the opinion that Josh Giddey will be a star in the league.
Didn't know because
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree.
This is like number one fan Josh Giddey. Okay. Like years, I've been watching him talk about Josh Giddey for a long time. Go ahead.
And we all agree that point guard is the biggest need on this team, correct? You get Lou Dort, right? Now imagine you're Devin Booker coming to town. You start the game, they put Herbert Jones on you, ruin your fucking night.
Jail.
Start, right? Then he checks out and you're like, okay, I can get hot now. Who checks in? Fucking Lou Dort. Right?
Jail.
So, is there more of a Willie Green player than Lou Dort? No, right?
That's a good point.
And then this is a lopsided trade. So you have $16 million extra dollars right there. So then you can parlay those. You can expand the trade, which I know Shamit loves already. Long live the Memphis deal. So you could possibly, because you're getting probably 4 to 6 first round picks from Oklahoma City, because why wouldn't they just do that? Because that's the whole point of what they're doing, is to get a star like Zion Williamson, and they can still tank into the first pick in this draft. But so you can expand the trade, send out a little bit more salary, add a CJ McCollum to that mix. Then you still have the Steven Adams trade exception that you can then add perhaps another veteran backup point guard and another 4-5 combo, a 4 small ball 5 guy, and then build around that great front line that I think we're all very happy with, and still keep guys like Josh Hart and possibly Devontae Graham, and have a team that won't have the ceiling of the team you would have with Zion, but I think that's a pretty fucking good team for years to come, you know? So that all is predicated on the idea of knowing or having a very strong belief that Zion is going to ask out either next year or the year after that.
So I wanted Kevin to explain that, because I do think that it's important. Like I think that as a fan, like I can remember ignoring for years, like feeling that CP wanted out. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just ignore it. I would see like the Bleacher Report, when Bleacher Report was in his early years, come up about, oh, he's at a wedding with Carmelo Anthony and all of his friends, and he's saying he's making a toast. And I'm like, that shit didn't happen. And I mean, I wasn't there, but to me, I'm like, it never happened. He would never make a toast saying, you know, one day we'll make our own big three. Chris Paul, he would never do that. You know, and then it happens again. You know, I mean, we can go further. Like, you know, with Baron, like I saw Baron Davis in the Lil Wayne video. Why would I ever think that this man would want out of New Orleans? Why would I ever think he would come out of New Orleans? Lil Wayne himself wanted out of New Orleans. He doesn't even root for a team that plays in New Orleans. But that's another story.
Though. That's confusing.
That's a whole different discussion. My point is that I know how it feels to want to be there, right? It was the same with AD. It's a post with that Bleacher Report put up years ago, and it was a couple other places that put up. It had like 4 different examples of AD Anthony Davis explaining how much he loves New Orleans and he doesn't want to leave. And it was like a defiant one. It was like a I'm kind of on the edge one. It was a culture one, and it was a food one. And I was like, there's no way he would ask out. Like, I mean, I've been here. You know what I'm saying? So his opinion is important because, or this thought is important. It's not even negative. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if it happens, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it before, because we've been here. We've seen it already. There's a possibility it will happen. But outside of that, there's a team now and a coach here, and hopefully a culture that is building, in which you could build around now if that guy doesn't want to be here. So that's it, because I've seen people come out and say, what the fuck is going on? There's so much negativity around and such and such. No, there's both sides of it. I hope he stays forever. I hope Zion never leaves New Orleans, but we have to look at it and say, there's a possibility he may wake up one day and say, or if he doesn't already, and say, yo, I don't want to be here. Rail, you are one of the more positive people here. You have been closely beyond behind the mental aspect of it, the struggles that he's dealing with that most people don't want to talk about. When you hear Kevin, when you hear what I just said, Lito, when you hear Schmidt, like what do you take from that?
I feel like it's not. How do I say this? I mean, it's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
And after the whole AD thing happened, I'm never gonna say, somebody's not ever gonna ask out. But just like somebody else just said, like, I would prefer he stay here forever, but at the same time, we don't really see that a lot in this league. We've seen that with a handful of people that stayed for 20 years or whatever have you. But and I run into a lot of people when I was in the food service industry. A lot of guys in the back of the house are like, "Oh well, when Zion leaves, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Look, bro, I'm gonna still have season tickets regardless." I'm a fan of the team. Right. I'm not just like following players around the league, and I feel like a lot of people just not really built like that. So I mean, I've kind of opened up to the idea of like, oh, well, maybe he might not be happy, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just be out there, like he won't be here. Fuck him, like I'm never gonna say that. So
wait. So let me ask you, what were your thoughts on his? And then I'm gonna go to 5. I want to hear Charles and Everett as well. I see.
He got his hand up.
He put his hand up like with his spaces. I got you. He got
his hand up like his spaces. Yeah.
Real. I want to know. And the same question is on Everett. When you see his post, right, where he puts him in the center court of the Pelicans arena, right, in uniform. When you see that, you see him change his Twitter bio. Like, what does that say to you as a fan? Like, what is that? How does that make you feel? What did that make you feel that day?
So I saw that he had shared a post or something like that. He had shared a post on his story, right? Like he shared a post from the Pelicans page to his story.
I don't know how it got there. I just saw it. I don't know how it got there.
I know how it got
Okay.
there.
Okay.
What did he do with his bio? What was that? I didn't even know he changed his bio.
Sean retired. We
Get out of here, man. Anyway, real. It was the same day Sean Payton retired or retired.
Anyway,
retired.
What was the Twitter bio thing?
Huh?
What was the Twitter bio change?
Because I think the bio was something Jay-Z related, and then it was something like Michael, and then it was like something Michael Thomas would say. I don't remember what it was.
It was a Naruto quote. He said, I'm gonna.
What was it?
It was something about like I'm gonna shop.
Somebody in the chat said reasonable.
Okay, but it changed to somebody pull up. We got social media. But it changed, and I don't think a lot of people pay attention to that. It changed.
I had no
it
idea.
Changed the same time that he put that picture up. Nothing is given, everything is earned.
Hey,
it's interesting.
Look.
Ooh, okay.
That's interesting.
Exactly. Hold on.
Right?
You see that? That's exactly what's on this fucking.
What the hell is that, real? What is that?
So listen, man.
Okay. What is that?
It says nothing given, everything earned.
What is that? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It sounds like you got some inside information. You just so happen to have this shit on. Okay, I got people here that didn't even know he changed that shit.
I didn't know.
Is Rail controlling his page?
Rail, are you Zion Williamson?
Are you Lee Anderson?
Look, so
we need to know what's happening here. Now you acting all shocked and surprised.
No. So yeah, I had no idea about the bio change. I bought this 3 years ago after Summer League.
Okay.
What's his name? Jax was wearing a bunch of Deuce brand shit, and I bought some Deuce brand shit after Summer League in 2019. So that's how long I've been wearing this on my wrist.
But what does that say to you though? What is that? What is him going out of his way to change that, like, as a fan? What does that say to you?
Send a message to me and say, "Look, shorty, hang on, I'm coming."
I see you. I know you got that band on your wrist.
I'm saying, bro. I'm saying.
Everett.
Trying to tell the loyal people, just hang in there. Don't listen to all the noise. I'll be back.
Okay, Everett. For somebody like Zion who doesn't. I mean, I'll be honest. He doesn't post a whole bunch. He doesn't come out and have a bunch of interviews. He doesn't. And I'm really curious on your perspective about that. Like, being a little bit close to the team. But Everett, like, what do you see what were your thoughts when he puts that post out? And it goes hand in hand with what we were talking about with some of Kevin's worries and all the worries that we all have as fans and observers, right? Mm-hmm. But that post, the bio change, he put it on Snapchat and Instagram. That's big, bro. You put something on both of them. That's big. Like, what does that mean?
When you break up with someone,
it means a lot to me, though. You know what? Honestly, as a fan,
it's almost like he's on the team.
It's almost like he's on the team. No, for me, it means a lot.
I love this guy. All right,
because simply, I am a Zion fan. Like I'm on the side of what Chris was before in the denial. I don't want to see no negative stuff about Z, because I think about how this dude came into the league. He came into the league in possibly the worst time to come into the NBA. His first year was cut short by what? They only played half a season that year, and then they left and then went to the bubble joint. So his first year was out the window. Then he came in hurt, and I do feel like they was being too cautious with him, which like everybody says, it put a sour taste in his mouth. But sometimes you got to protect young people from themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then his second year, Stan Van Gundy, that whole thing. But he still, even though Stan Van Gundy is a terrible coach, we had no chemistry because of him, he still balled out. And then now it's just like, and then the whole COVID thing, it was a lot of stuff. I mean, Sean Payton literally just retired because of the last 2 years. And now,
but look though, hold on. What I know what you leading up to, but I want to know just strictly because I gotta move to Charles. Okay. The wise one, and then the 5 about like what is that post? What is that post, that bio?
That say he coming. That say he coming.
Okay.
The reason why I say it because he don't. Because he don't do that often. He's not. Okay. He's not like Ja. Ja posts on Twitter every day, like 100 times a day.
At halftime.
At halftime, exactly.
That's a good point.
Freaking Zion is super private. He's an introvert by nature. So when he does something, he does something for intent.
So
it was calculated.
It was calculated. I think it was.
Okay. Charles, the wise one, Mr. Chambers. You gotta wear a suit next time, bro. There's no way around it. You can't be Charles Wise Chambers and not wear a suit, bro.
I'm gonna go holler at Garrett
Red tie
at G Temple's Taylor. Get
Please
that
don't.
3-piece suit.
Please don't.
Please don't, Chris.
Please don't. Please don't. Go ahead. What does that say like you? What does that say to you when you see something like that? Like the post bio.
I mean, I think I posted in one of the group chats. I think for Zion's sake, I hope he's just getting himself right mentally. Because he's got a long career ahead of him. God willing, whether that's with us or with anybody else. And he deserves, to see that through. So I really hope that he's doing well and he's doing what he has to do for himself to get right.
Wow.
I don't know what it means for us though. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Wow. I've seen every star that I have followed admiringly has left New Orleans with some sort of, I don't know, animosity might be too strong, but just weird shit, man. Like
this thing, whatever you want to use.
From Mashburn to AD, it's just. And
Mashburn left with 0 knees when he left New Orleans.
I certainly understand. He gave it all. BD had his issues. 20-year-old Charles and 37-year-old Charles look at this a lot differently, man. Like
you're 37?
Bro, I'm 37.
What?
Yeah, man.
I tried not to react to that. It's like that Kevin Hart. He said, "Damn."
Yeah, made me say that out loud.
You look good. You look good.
Yeah, man.
You gotta drop your skin routine in the comments or something, man.
I don't know how that's watching these Pelicans, man. I feel like I should. You can't see all these gray hairs, but they're there. I just feel like, man, it's just a lot of stuff, man. It's just complicated. And I feel like the only way it's going to work is if we thread like a really tight needle into like being something sooner rather than later when he gets back. Mm-hmm. And I don't trust certain people in the front office to make that type of move. You
can say who they are, bro. It's okay.
Hey man, I'm the president of the David Griffin should be a librarian fan club or something else, man. Not running basketball ops.
You don't think that's what he should be doing for a profession?
He needs to be a thought leader somewhere, a think tank, writing policy papers on, continuity and sustainability and shit like that.
Sustainable success.
Sustainable success. He would be a wonderful speaker for startups. And,
Five. Like being in the streets, being somebody, bro. It's nothing more New Orleans right now than having your car broken into, bro. And I hope, and listen, all jokes aside, I hope that that you good and that gets figured out. But there's nothing more New Orleans right now than that happening to you. It's just happening everywhere. My sister just told me about it almost happening to her. It's happening. You being in the streets, you are, you got your ear out there. What does something like that post him changing his bio mean to you, considering everything you know about? Okay, Sean Payton retired that day. Okay. But outside of that, knowing where the team is hopefully looking to go to, maybe the future, what does something like that say to you? What does it mean to you?
It's empty. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay,
like, bro. Yeah, like think about this. Like,
yep.
Louisiana, I'm gonna say this again, ranks 50th in education. Like,
okay,
we don't do well with cryptic. They don't understand anything like this. We understand what you do. We what we see is what we believe. Like, if you're not on the court and you're not putting forth effort, we don't see you. If you ain't at the second line, if you ain't at the daiquiri shop, you ain't uptown eating. If people can't see you, they don't feel you. You know what I'm saying? If you shut it up in fucking Portland, bro, if we can't see you, we don't feel you. We if you left and you ain't even playing, What you think we gonna think? We think you leaving.
Right.
We want to see you play with the same effort you gave Duke. The same. You want to go to Duke when you on off the court. Cool, that's fine. But when you come here, do that. Have that same energy. And if you don't, we know you. You know you're not here to stay. And that's fine. Like, yo, be brutally honest with people. We can trust that. I can be okay with somebody telling me the truth. I sometimes feel like he straddles that fence, and that's okay because he's not a real people person, or not say people person. He's not very out there. He's not in our faces. He's not around giving interviews. He's not kissing babies and dapping up people wearing Soldier Slim Dickie Fits. He's not doing that. And that's okay. That's
wearing
okay.
Soldier Slim Dickie Fits. That made Lito excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost came in here like that, actually.
Hey, look, hold on. I gotta tell y'all a story. I gotta tell a story real quick. So me, the girl, my girl and Kev was downstairs in Kevin's car, and we didn't know how to get into the studio. So I called Lito because my phone was dead. I couldn't call Justin to have us get in here. So somehow Lito had already got in. Okay. Assuming he had called Justin, got the code or whatever. He had been here already by that period of time. So I called him like, yo, bro, where you at? He was like, I'm from Uptown. Like, the door's locked, bro. Like, I come downstairs. He was like he didn't, like, it was just funny to me, man, because like it reminded me of like this, no matter, the city is just, it's different. Like, we have a sense of like, no matter how outgoing we are, there is like, we hold certain things close to us, not like no matter what. Right. There is a sense of protection that needs to be like held with us from whatever the sense, whatever situation it is. So I think with the whole Zion situation, that whole thing reminded me of it, because no matter what he ultimately decides, like, we've all seen things, whether it be through the team or through whatever case may be, to where there's like, we're reserved, and we need to see, we're moved by actions. Yeah. We're not moved by cryptic meanings where we gotta guess and move and piece things together. We're moved by actions, not even by words. It's just how we are. Lito, you looking at me? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm with 5, man. I don't give a shit about Instagram posts. I don't care about Twitter bio changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm I'm all about the action. Like you said, give us the same effort you gave Duke. We tired of feeling like, as a fan, we're tired of feeling like we're a joke. Like, take us seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, we deserve this. So if you come here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to take on the attitude of the city.
Hey, yo, not to cut you off, Lito, my bad. LeBron James just said the other day that he was busy at 18 saving the franchise. That's what he said. He said he was busy.
That's a hell of a statement.
Like, and it's valid and it's true.
Yeah, shit,
bro. We're not asking you to save our city. We're not asking that. But we're just asking you to play with some kind of passion, some kind of effort, and protect us. Like, when somebody says something bad about the city, put your foot down. Like, if it's yours, take up for it. That way, if you feel that way, the city will feel that way towards you. They will protect you at all costs. Yep. You will, even if you were to leave, people will still regard you because you were stand up behind what you did and what you said. It matched the energy, and that's fine. Like, it's all we want. Like, Chris Paul can come here today, and still get love. He was talking about this his. Like, oh, well, Zion, Brandon, nobody said, nah, nigga, this ain't yours, it's mine. Like, nobody said that.
So hold on, Kev. Does it bother you when you see guys like Anthony Edwards and John Morant be like so just different? Like, I mean, because I think that plays a role as well. We see those guys in small markets, right? In small markets, just be themselves. Now, they're different personalities, but I think people see them like, damn, I want that. That, like, I mean, is that fair to Zion?
It is and it isn't. I mean, I think for one thing, it's definitely a personality thing, and like, we keep getting stuck with the top prospect, power forward, and coming into the league, being a guy that is not like a leader, not an alpha, not, like he's the surefire pick and he's a great player, but he's not going to be that guy that rallies your team. Or
that's
he's
fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? No, I mean it's true. I mean, like, am I wrong? But it is a little unfair to him to have to come in and be the savior of a franchise. And I think, like, as much shit as I gave David Griffin, I think when Zion came in, he sort of identified that a little bit and tried to say this was Drew Holiday's team, which we all knew was just another mistake because Drew Holiday doesn't handle pressure situations well or change well. I mean, he's a great player. It's just, you just know what he is, and I feel like that's always been the problem is I think David Griffin hasn't really understood the city, hasn't understood the team, hasn't understood the players. I mean, like I've said this from day one, like right away, the first thing David Griffin did was take Zion Williamson to Commander's Palace. Like, how many of y'all go to Commander's Palace? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what I tell you,
like, to me, that kind of said a lot about it. And I've been waiting for that big New Orleans moment for Zion, where you see him connect with the city. His biggest moment that we can all think of probably is that photo shoot for Jordan in New York, where he's doing that dunk and all those kids are going crazy. We don't have a moment like that with Zion in the city. And I just feel like he's never had the chance to connect with the real people of the city like other players have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back.
Hold on.
Yeah, please.
Hold on, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back a little bit. I think Zion wanted to come in and do all that stuff, right? So from the moment he said "Let's dance" to him coming in and like the first thing like you see in his hotel was like Drew Brees like signed jersey. He was going to all the local football games, like
that's
all
fair.
the local football games.
That's fair. Yeah.
As he was working himself into shape, a lot of public appearances. He did several events, and then he got hurt, right? And then he got hurt, and he was taken away from the media. He was taken away from public appearances. Just kept in the black box. Just no one knew anything about him. His injury kept getting pushed further and further. And then by the time he came back, like the situation was already like bad, right? Because he wasn't happy with how his injury was handled. But whatever, he started playing, and COVID happened. And then you can't do that public.
No, I agree with that.
And so from when that injury happened till now, I think it's been nothing but bad, and it's kind of like changed his perspective on the city. And I mean, maybe not the city, right? I think it's unfair. I think he genuinely likes the city and the people, but his perspective on like how to be a public facing entity, because anytime he gets out in public, what is he blasted with? Oh, you're out of shape. Oh, this guy's fat. Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's the Kembe Mutombo or whatever, right?
Right.
Like that's what he's faced with.
But I do feel like that's like mostly from the outside of the city.
Sure.
But also my point,
maybe,
but my point is like, for instance, I used to bartend at Protocol years ago, right? Chris Paul would come in there all the time. Trevor Ariza was sitting at the bar when the Chris Paul trade got vetoed to the Lakers. Like I was working bartending when that happened.
Wow.
Like those guys would come in and talk to the community.
Yeah, bro, you don't hang out at the boot though.
Fair. I definitely do not.
That's where these kids go.
I definitely do not. I used to go upstairs to the mushroom back in the day, but no.
I mean, he's 18, 19. I mean,
true.
I hear you, and I think like there's a massive room for improvement in the way he engages the city and the fan base. I do think some of that like initial eagerness to do so was stamped out.
That's my point. I'm not putting it on Zion. Right. I'm putting it on the way he was introduced to the city.
And then the other thing is the people around him are very, very controlling of how he presents himself and his image and how people should perceive him. And honestly, in my opinion, that's not allowed him to be his authentic self, allowed him to be a kid, allow him to learn from his mistakes and all of that. B, I think it's called undue attention to all the negative stuff. Like it's had the opposite of effect.
Right. Totally. That's my point. Is like the whole thing has been totally mishandled since his arrival. And that's why I'm like and like we said, it's PTSD from going through this so many times that I just don't see a path of him being here long term. Yeah, I wish I was wrong, but I just
I
know
hear
what
you
I'm
on
saying.
that.
And I agree with everything you said. too,
Lito,
you know?
Lito, let me ask you something. Anthony Edwards, John Morant. When you see them and you imagine them in New Orleans, tell me what you see. Because I was looking at you for a reason, because where I'm going with this. Like
the way
go ahead.
When you looked at me, I knew you was about to ask me some bullshit. Like I started looking at your eye.
Go ahead.
So what I think about them when I see them play? Like, is that what you asking me?
Just tell me how you feel like they would have been in the city.
And a dog. Ja dog.
And they would have been where in the city?
We'd have been uptown. We'd have been at the second line. We'd have been at the daiquiri shop. We'd have been at chicken and watermelon. Like they would have fully embraced the city, bro.
That's what it is. That's the disconnect. That's part of the disconnect, to where people feel like Zion was supposed to be that, and they see Ja online talking about Memphis versus everybody, and he retweeting Key Glock music, and he doing this and he doing that.
Like some dude was posing with like guns in hands, and then like
Ja was there, okay. And Ed was talking about like Ed was talking about, I rap like Lil Baby. Like he would have been in the streets without being in the streets. Like I think that's what it is. That's why we give Zion. That's why people give Zion so much shit.
I don't think you even need to look outside. I mean, look at Alvin Kamara. If
yeah,
Zion,
man.
There we go. There we go. Yep.
I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
I think part of the reason Zion isn't doing that or doesn't do that is because he's too corporate. So like,
okay.
So because of since he was 16, he's been this mega like social media machine. And now
I see a lot of people shaking their head, and I see some people shaking their head for it. Hold on. Rail, come on, get in here.
I did not or shake or nothing.
No, I know you didn't, but you seen Mitch's. Come on.
I didn't even hear what y'all was talking about.
Okay, get out. Everett, come on, man.
I got a message. I was checking a message.
All right, Everett, come on.
Yo, I agree with almost everything y'all was talking about. I think
Impossible.
I said almost. But you're right. And the Alvin Kamara thing is a great point about him being in the city. You always see AK out everywhere. But in the same token, how many other superstars that we don't? Look at B.I. B.I. don't be in the streets like that. You know what I mean? We see.
But if I could push back on that, he's not in the streets, but B.I. buys clothes from local brands. I've seen B.I. and I've seen him fuck with like.
Yeah, but Zion was at the hat shop in the quarter. Like,
yeah, they had security.
But you know what? But y'all remember Media Day?
Man, we don't fuck with that.
All right, go ahead.
I remember Media Day, and what Z said, he said it then. Hold on, my damn dog drinking water super loud. No, Zion said at Media Day, he said simply, and because they was asking him like, why didn't he go to Nashville? Why isn't he around the damn team?
Yeah.
And he was like, his pride of because who said it? I don't know who said it, but talk about how his family's so controlling about how he looks that when he is not at his peak, he doesn't like to be seen because he doesn't want to show weakness to people around him.
Yeah.
To his team. And so but that might have something to do with it. He really may feel like yo, if I'm not coming in on that Zion the brand level, then I can't be seen because
people don't want to hear that shit, Everett.
I know people don't want to hear it, but that might be real.
The people don't want to hear that shit, Everett. They don't want to hear that shit. 5.
You don't want to hear it, but that might be facts, though.
5, and then Charles, come on.
Nah, bro. Fuck all that, Everett.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Check Lito. Exactly, bro. Like it's more than just buying clothes. It's who you buy it from,
right?
And where you get it from, and how you got it.
Ooh.
Look, check this out. Zion had this Mountain Dew thing. This was like when he got drafted, right? Yeah. It was in New Orleans. I was there. Not I wouldn't say buku people, but it wasn't really that many people. Crazy setup. Bro, dude ain't showed up for I don't even know how long. I don't even know if he pulled up. I decided to leave. AK pulled up. He got on flip-flops. He dapping up people, like regular people. I'm like, yo, this man in a white t-shirt and some gray shorts. I'm like, what's going on? Like, he regular? He hanging out with Larry Merrill. Like, it's not what you do, is how you do it. And you don't see Zion. He can't. It's like he's not tangible to us. We don't touch him. We don't feel him. Pause. Like, we don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't feel that. Like, we don't know who you naturally are. So all that facade stuff you post on Instagram, that's cool and all. But Ja can't be touched. Like, he physically can be touched.
Okay. I got a different side to that. Is it fair to hold Zion to, like, can you hold Zion to the same level of, say, like Alvin Kamara, who came from, like, he was a later round pick. He wasn't like being Watt since he was since he was in high school.
No.
He wasn't supposed to be this generational talent. He hasn't been prepped from like being a number one pick since his final years in high school, then going to one of the top colleges, and that you've in basketball. Like, is that fair?
I don't. It's not fair. It's not fair because honestly, none of that shit matters. Like you said, Ant Edwards, he was number one in his class. He's always been, a top basketball player. It's just who he is. It's his personality. You know what I'm saying? You can't account for Zion being an introvert. Like, we can't do nothing about that. But I would say this, as far as like you were saying, Ja, like, yo, Ja is me mugging kids, bro. Like,
he's a menace,
you know what? Yeah, you know what Zion kind of reminds me of? He doesn't remind me of Ricky Williams, but in a way, he reminds me of Ricky Williams.
No, I see that.
Yeah, I see it.
And I think and part of that makes me feel like it's unfair. And I think it's probably because I've been going to therapy the past year or so. It's because I look at it and say, like when Ricky was showing up to press conferences with his fucking helmet on, people was looking at him like he was crazy, as opposed to, yo, what the fuck going on with him? Like, yo, were you all right?
Well, I think that's the thing, is like, sports is like a weird world to live in if you're not a cookie cutter athlete. Cookie cutter athlete personality, and that's why, like, I didn't get into sports till much later because I grew up as a skateboarder into like punk rock music and all that shit. So like, my friend Travis got me into basketball.
Travis Scott.
Jason Williams rookie year with the Kings, because I watched Jason Williams play and I was like, that's the closest thing I've seen to skateboarding.
Okay.
Like,
I see
you could definitely do a kickflip.
I see that.
I can see that. I fell in love with the game then, and that's really when I started paying attention. So, but always, any person that's in, like, any professional athlete that's in any league who is slightly different, has a different personality, they always get side-eyed, like, like same thing with Ricky Williams. Nobody understood him at the time. Like, I understood him at the time. That dude just wanted to smoke weed and chill out. Like, who doesn't want to do that? Like,
in hindsight, he was right.
Yeah, right. 100%. Not even hindsight. He was right.
Yeah.
I think there's this component with Zion where he doesn't want to upset. He genuinely wants to be this nice guy for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm Zion Williamson. I'm awesome. I'm this
like
superhero type figure in the basketball world. And that's his brand. And so that's why when everyone was getting upset about him not attending those Nashville workouts, like the stuff coming out of Zion's camp is like, he's confused. Why are people mad at him? He generally doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what did I do wrong? And so I think this desire to be people pleasing or whatever, I think it is a product of his fame and his early, like, the amount of like attention that he got from the beginning. And I just, I get it. I think it just feels like it doesn't allow him to be him. And I don't know what him is, and I don't know who he is at his, like,
he might not know.
Yeah, he might not know.
I don't think he does.
And that's part of like why maybe, like, I don't know who's with him in Portland exactly, but like, if he's away from family and whatnot, maybe that's a time for him to figure out who he is. And
a lot of people move to Portland to figure themselves out.
Yeah, right.
Ask all of y'all.
Charles.
No, I was about to ask all of y'all the same question. Like, do y'all? I thought this years ago. Like, I wish Zion would just cut the umbilical cord. Not say get away from your family, but I think that's also a difference between him and Ja. Like, Ja got kids, man. Ja is already an adult living on his own. Zion, I feel like, is still attached to his stepdad and his mom. And I'm just like, bro, like, I get it. I understand you love them, but you need to, not to say you need to pull Alonzo Ball and put a little space between you and your dad.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
He gotta be his own man.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
like,
you seen
can you
seen
imagine at 19, like going up to your parents, be like, "Yo, like," I mean, I know like a lot of people have done that, but it's still tough.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think especially because like everything that's happened in your life up until that point, you've been like the best at, right? So you got drafted number 1. Your parents were there. Clearly, whatever they're doing, it works, right? You got hundreds of $1 million in an endorsement. Whatever they're doing, it works, right? You come out and you average 27 points a game, dominate the NBA. It's working.
Mm-hmm.
So where has the negative reinforcement come from? That, you know, in his bubble, in his world, where he would be like, "Yo, I think y'all are doing too much. Give me my own space."
One thing I just want to say this too about him real quick is I feel like New Orleans and New York are probably the easiest places to be a celebrity. Like in New Orleans, I don't know how many guys you've been around that are famous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I worked at Port of Call, so I saw famous people all the time. Nobody bothers anybody. Like we're cool, you know, say hi to them, nice to meet you, like that. But don't pester them, don't bother them.
Right.
Let them do their own thing. So it's the easiest place to be a celebrity. The media isn't scathing. New York, there's just so many celebrities that nobody gives a fuck who you are. Really, now the media is the opposite,
right.
You know. But if you can't handle being a celebrity in New Orleans, then it's tough.
Why the
man.
fuck would you want to go anywhere?
It is tough. I mean, I understand if you want to go to get a bigger spotlight.
That wants to go, or is it the people around him that wants to go? And that's something that we will not know until it happens.
No one knows. No one knows. Charles, man, get in here.
You know, so I have a little bit of a unique perspective because I went to Clemson and Zion's from Spartanburg. His dad played ball Clemson back in the day.
Okay.
And we were under the wild impression that he would actually stay close to home and, like, you know, go play for a smaller ACC school.
Yeah.
And, you know, not only did he not choose Clemson, not only did he not choose Clemson, like he chose like Duke, like he chose like, you know, he didn't choose UCLA or Arizona or Calipari. Like he chose like the most. He chose the most corporate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the route, you know, like the Michael Jordan, Dean Smith, Coach K.
Yep.
I'm a star. I go here, then I go to the NBA. I win a bunch of titles and I become Zion Williamson, the brand or whatever. So coming to New Orleans where the stars are like laid back and part of the culture, you know what I mean? Like they just kind of flow into it. Like it never, to me, seemed like it was going to be that simple because it always seemed like the coast would always be like, would work better with the game plan that was laid out when he was 13 or 14. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it. I think the personality conflicts really are from their perception of protecting his, you know, path to greatness. And look, I'm a father. If I knew that my child had a ton of talent, like I would want to curate as much as that experience as I could. So that to guarantee that success. So I get it from that standpoint, but like it's gonna be a while before we see the real Zion. Whatever has to happen in his personal life, contract negotiation, or you know, business idea, you know, in the boardroom where he's gonna be like, no, this is what I want. Kind of like Lonzo Ball had with his dad. Like, no, this is my vision. I don't know what that tipping point is gonna be, but he hasn't had it yet. And when he does, then we'll start to see that personality that we see from like Ant and Ja, but he hasn't come into his own yet in that regard.
You know what it reminds me of, and it's relevant now because of All-Star voting. How Andrew Wiggins got like voted in by the K-pop people. Well, there's like a couple documentaries on like the culture of K-pop and how they become it, and there's an entire machine like behind these people that make them K-pop stars, and it's an entire like army. I mean, that's not an army, but like this machine that like controls every aspect of their life, their social media, like who they can meet, what they wear publicly, everything. And like I don't think Zion's life is to that extent, but it's very similar. That like from a very young age, there's been a machine behind him, making him into this corporate entity like Duke, Jordan, etc. And Charles is absolutely right. Like, not sure what the tipping point is going to be, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, if there ever is one, that's bigger than basketball as far as like the relationship with trying to step out of your dad's or your family's, I don't know, mentorship.
Oh, okay. That was
it.
No, okay.
That was it.
All right.
No.
I just want to say, Charles, someone here in this chat, you guys have dragged me into it, says C.W. Chambers not being a 70-year-old college professor is the biggest swerve of the night. What the fuck? How does that make you feel that people think you're a 70-year-old college professor? Speak on that, please.
I feel like I need to like go immerse myself in like some 1998, UNLV, something, because
how does that make you 70 years old, sir?
I mean, apparently I come across that way, so I got to go get my tweed jacket with the elbow pads.
Yep, it has to. And you know what? Get a suit with pinstripes and a hat to go with it. Kevin, come on. I'm gonna hold on about 10 minutes. I'm gonna get these guys out of here, and I'm ready to go out and be drunk and be a hooligan. So, it's my last night in town. So yeah, keep going. 5 Rail. I hope y'all pulling up in the streets and all that. But keep going. Come on, Kev.
I don't know. I mean, Shaman had some really interesting points, and I also think like. I mean, the joke I was going to make is that the only PR he's running right now is public relations, not pick and rolls. But hopefully we get back to
that's not necessary.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I kind of am done talking about him because, like, just see what happens.
So let's talk about this team. Let's talk about this team. Let's spend the last 10 minutes talking about this team of sorts, because we talked about in the beginning about how the team needed to improve, so on and so forth. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No. I had a conversation with Antonio Daniels today, and at the end of the day, it's clear that if certain guys aren't playing, there are other guys that need to step up. So, like as fans, as observers, so on and so forth, we have no choice but to root for whoever is on the floor. We've loved Herb Jones, but as a rookie, there's only so much that we can expect of him, right? Jason Tatum had him in some hell in multiple possessions tonight, and it's no disrespect to Herb, it just was what it was. And then, like they're so smart on Boston, they had Devontae Graham in so many switches tonight. And I was just watching Jason Tatum take her one-on-one. I was like, fuck. It's just bad, man. It's nothing, but it's nothing you could do. Like it is what the hell it is, right? Based off of the team that is out there. So we know that BI and JV will return soon. We don't know what they will add or what they won't add. We don't know. We assume they will add. We feel like that they will add talent. Some guys will be in and will be out. Mm-hmm. What do they do with the team that's currently here to survive and to win? Is it anything extra than what we've seen? Play hard defense, continue to defend, continue to, get contributions from different guys.
We're all laughing because we know the answer.
I'm trying to be positive here because I promise y'all, like I don't even I talked with some of these guys, the conversation I had with AD today, but that was tough, dog. So like, come on, man, give me some positivity, please. Come on, somebody real.
Hey,
anybody
healthy, man.
They're gonna have to. Well, yeah. So luck, and I don't mean to sound, you're gonna have to stay healthy. I mean, Chris, it's real though, man. Like they're gonna have to shoot the ball a little bit better. Like so, maybe like Graham, can you not turn the ball over when you are tasked with being the point guard? And can you shoot the ball confidently when you are in your zone, your area of operation on the court?
Yeah.
Because he can make shots, but it's going to come down to them shooting the ball a little bit above themselves and staying healthy if they're going to make a run at the 10 seed, barring, Professor Griff doing something amazing at the trade deadline.
Anybody else have something positive?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody
Right.
with just what the roster, just what we know we have here.
We did something positive by telling Saturansky to sit his ass down.
Oh wow, I didn't think you had that in you, real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't think you had that in you.
You gotta sit next to me at a game. I can't stand that.
Come on. Right. Oh, Everett, you are Mr. Positive, sir. Wait, what?
Oh, Five got something to say. Go ahead,
Five, come on.
All right, last year when the Knicks got to the playoffs, I know they're the fourth seed.
Yep.
They had a really decent percentage from three, but they didn't shoot a ton of threes, right? If we minimize the amount of threes we took and only took really good ones, then that could probably propel us to be better, because that means we're probably shooting better shots than just threes. I'm trying to be positive, Chris. I really am. But I don't know if we practice corner threes, but it seems like we get a lot of them. So I just want us to practice corner threes at practice, and then no, you know what? We should probably practice at the Smoothie King Center, because we can't shoot there. So let's just all practices at the Smoothie King Center. We get that jumper board.
Passed so many open threes I was expecting him to shoot. After missing so many, I watched so many go to Temp, go to DG, Puff. I was like, bro, that's the one. That's the one to shoot, right? Nope. Come on. Anybody else? Everett?
All right, positive.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Know what you have.
So, as we know, this team plays hard.
Yep.
You play together. They're well coached.
Yep.
They, I think the only thing we just need to tweak our philosophy a little bit.
Oh,
just a little bit, because I think especially when we don't have certain players like a JV, we need to go to more of a crash the board type mentality. Because there was a lot of times tonight we shoot a three and there was nobody even attempting to get the damn rebound. So if we attack the rim more, and then in practice, like Five said, don't practice shooting threes. How about we practice our free throws? You know how many games we done free throwed our way out of because we couldn't make them?
I don't know what happened with Josh Hart this year at the free throw line, but I can't be mad because he's improved his game.
Literally, JJ Redick on his podcast made a joke when he was talking to Josh Hart, like he still can't shoot free throws. I was like, damn. So we should practice our free throws, because simply if we're going to attack the basket and get the whistle, we have to make them pay. We have to. So less threes, attack the basket, and even if you are a point guard, Nikhil, who can go with both hands, just get it up on the glass and let somebody else come and get the damn rebound. Like shit.
100% with that. Yeah, I think the biggest growth that we could have without changing anything is if Nikhil stops playing like James Harden and starts playing like Tyreek Evans. If he has Tyreek Evans is my favorite Pelican of all time, but Nikhil has more skills than Tyreek Evans. He has two hands for one thing, right?
Yeah, and because we knew what Tyreek was going.
Tyreek used his strength. If Nikhil could bulk up a little bit, but just drive and attack and kick out or try to finish. And you got two hands to finish with. If you don't finish, you got two guys that could get offensive rebounds. And that would be so much better than jacking up step back threes or catch and shoot threes when you're shooting 12%, whatever it is he's shooting in the last 5 games.
Literally only 2 people on our team right now should be taking the 3-point. That should be Devontae Graham, because that's his specialty, and Herb, because he's shooting almost 40% from it. So, did y'all see last night's game? Herb shot a 3 from the corner, and then the very next play he pump faked them and drove to the basket. I was like, why can't everybody do that? It's the simplest damn thing.
Simple.
Any other positive endings or quotes before we close out?
Somebody threw out in the chat, Jamal, some more Jackson at the 4, which I actually would like to see that from a defense.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna
offensive rebounding.
Yeah, because it was rough watching Jackson set screens in person. There was some thing. You know what, bro? I be trying to root for Jackson. I promise y'all I do. I be trying. I really want Jackson to be good. And watching it in person was hard.
Can't wait to see his first box out.
God, it was hard, bro, because I wanted him to be good so bad, bro. But watching him, and it's the little shit that isn't always shown on on TV, it's like he'll set a screen and like the person that he's setting the screen on will like bump him a little bit. And when the shot doesn't go in and he's going to the other side, he's looking at the ref like, yo, bro, what the fuck? And it's like, Jax, bro, you barely set the screen. What are we complaining about? And
he's a terrible screen setter. Can we all agree that he is a terrible screen setter?
Like you haven't even perfected like what it takes to set a good screen. Why are you complaining? And now the other center is down the way, is all the way at the cup and on the end, about to get a bucket on you. And
Jackson plays defense like a cornerback. He tries to guard you with his hands. He tries to control you like you're a wide receiver.
God, wow.
Bro, he literally has no awareness on his own status in the game. He had 2 fouls. They were playing that zone defense. They was playing good. Jax is in great position, and he just reaches, tries to go around them to get a steal for no reason. Like, bro, stay in your position. And you got 3 fouls. Now you're on the bench.
Bro, Jax had the worst reaching foul I've ever seen in my life tonight. I've never seen anything that bad. Like, he hugged him.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, though. Jackson has to realize that there's nobody, unless whenever Zion comes back, I really feel this way. There's nobody that has a bigger effect on the crowd than him. Like, a Jackson dunk gets everybody up. Everybody stands up. Everybody is like going crazy. He just brings that level. It's the hair, it's the energy, it's the athleticism. Like, people love to, that. Like, people love to see Jackson. They love to see him go crazy. Like, that's like, bro, just the energy. If you could put yourself in a position to even make those energy plays. And before we close out, please, bro, like you've been, I know you've been on the guard play, but without them having the guard play, come on, man, give me something before Jackson is out of here. He's on another team. I gotta watch him in another place in fucking San Antonio or down the line in some other place. I don't want to watch him play. I'm not gonna watch the game to even
doing all the little shit right.
Like, please give me some Jackson optimism because I want him to be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Shaman, I do.
I think they've done a better job of trying to like find him in the offense, and he's one of those players, like a lot of bigs, where if he doesn't get the touches, he's just gonna like zone out, and he zones out very quickly, like much more than anybody else. Right. So like you got to keep him involved, and in these like last few set of games outside of this one, you got like 2 shots, right? So it's like, that's not. I don't think that's going to serve anyone. But Jose was going off, and that's good for Jose, right? But the past few games, he's been giving like 14 points in like 17 minutes, and that's really good. That is like a really good score rate. And the thing is, he's doing it on like 6 or 7 shots because he makes like 6 out of 7. They're all dunks, right? So you keep him involved on the offensive end, and I think last year Zion was the only one really taking advantage of Jackson's like ridiculous height and his catch rate.
Cares about Instagram.
Like Zion would get down into the paint and Jackson would be in the dunker spot and Zion would just throw it up. He would just throw it up and Jackson would come down with it and then put it up. And so I think it's pretty easy to simplify that bench offense to run pick and rolls with him in the middle of the floor. Because then if he's diving hard, that's, you don't have a driver that can suck in the defense. Great. Jackson diving hard to the paint will suck in the defense. And then maybe you create shots out of that for others. But, if they're not putting a man on Jackson, he's going to get dunks. Just put it up there. There's like 3 people in the NBA that can jump with him, right?
Right. Does he have tiny hands or something?
No, he's got enormous hands.
He is.
He's just like a very immature. He's an immature basketball player. Like most of these guys in the league have been playing since they was like, I don't know, 10, maybe even before that. He's probably been playing basketball a total of 6 years max. So he never learned fundamentals, I feel like.
I mean,
and I said one time before he set screens like he's in girls basketball camp.
Look, Chris Paul has turned Bismack Biyombo this year into like a 15-15 machine. Right. And Jackson's never going to average 15 rebounds. Let's be real. But if he had Chris Paul as a pick and roll operator, Jackson might put up 20 points a game on 10 shots. He go 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Bismack.
You got to set a real pick first.
Beyond.
Right. But, Chris Paul will actually also wait for the pick to happen. Or like Nikhil's like, oh, there's a pick. Let me just go.
Dude, they leave him out to dry a lot of times.
And then he'll yell at Jackson afterwards like, hey, bro, the fuck are you doing?
Like the one against Denver where Jackson was slipping it and he got the foul called on him and then Jokic did the same thing on the other end. And that was messed up.
All right, guys. I'm ready to go get drunk and be a hooligan. So this was fun, man. I appreciate y'all. Those that are actually in the city that want to come out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know where the fuck we going, but I'm going somewhere and we gonna have a good time. And maybe the people that are here, Kevin, I don't think Kevin's coming, but outside of Kevin, I feel like I can convince everybody else to come.
I'm old. I got 7 a.m.
Yeah, he got, and you know, he got kids, and by kids I mean dogs. No, you have dogs. Those are kids.
That's children. Yeah.
That's not a lot.
But we going to have a good time. So those that haven't had cars broken into and that want to end up making it out, I'm 5 is pissed off. But outside of him, I would like to see y'all. So let's come out. Let's have a good time. And yeah, that's it. I don't know even how to close this out. That was Lito's job.
No, I mean I don't know either. So
let's just let it run. And